Welcome back everybody to game number 2 of this 2-game series, Red Viperz Gaming versus Team Ice in Join Dota League season number 5. It is just a 1-game advantage for Ice after a pretty long game number 1, 50 plus minutes, 56 I think to be exact. Red Viperz had a pretty nice start to the game, just unable to really close things out, gave too much time for the enemy carries to farm. But we're HeflaTV, I'm Coucher, once again joined by Mike Lores. Are we gonna get another really long game? And I completely had my Skype muted, man. Mike, how you doing?
Oh well, okay. We're back in, I guess. So
We're back
yeah,
in.
Ice. Well, they are sitting at a 1-game advantage right now, and Red Viperz, they had a good chance at winning that game. I think they just had to have a couple more slightly better fights in that last game, and they could have come away with the victory. But Ice, I would say, to begin with, the favorites, but clearly not invulnerable. So we'll see if this game is going to be any different. I'm hoping for, maybe just like a little bit tighter play from Red Viperz, honestly. They had too many fights where they just had 3 heroes getting picked off and then the other 2 heroes awkwardly arrived.
It's just classic Division 2 Southeast Asia, to be honest. Oh god. Well, looking at the bans though, Red Viperz I do believe had the exact same bans in game number 1. Team Ice, Juggernaut removed, Lycan I don't think was touched this early on. Maybe it was, who knows, but Ice, it's their turn to go for the first pick. Vengeful Spirit, Tidehunter, really, they can go for anything they want. It's so hard to call the first pick in most cases.
Yeah, so I'm liking the Vengeful Spirit here, but that's just me. And I'm pretty sure it's a lot of other people too, because, well, Vengeful Spirit is very often in that first pick spot. Troll Warlord is also available, and they just came off of a win with that hero. And I believe they first picked it in the last game as well, so that would also be a reasonable way to go if you are Team Ice. So Troll, VS, those are the heroes that I would have in my sights right now.
Well, they have at least a pretty just nice amount of reserve time left still, but Troll, like you called out, will be the first pick for them. Definitely had some pretty great success in game number 1 with that one. Also, you can just slightly build around that hero. Maybe Battle Trance is gonna be helpful somewhat for pushing with any hero. Even if it's like a Skyr of Mage, extra attack speed will still make the towers fall a little bit faster. But Red Viperz, Vengeful Spirit, are we possibly gonna see a Bat Rider this time around? I think that was one of the bans last time, unless I'm mistaken. So it might be possible, but knowing that Team Ice really likes a Tidehunter, Red Viperz, do you think they should or could go for a Tidehunter themselves maybe?
They, yes, I do. Is that cheating? It
No,
might be cheating.
it's fine. You totally said it before he was picked, totally.
well, what's done is done. Tidehunter is going to be the pick for Red Viperz. I actually do like the Vengeful Spirit Bat Rider opening quite a bit, as Vengeful Spirit's usually the most direct counter to Bat Rider, and is definitely the most commonly picked up hero to counter him. So getting some initiation on the board, I mean, we could see how important it was for Red Viperz in the last game as Hulk was able to start some fights with that hook shot, and that made the difference, or helped make the difference. So having a Tidehunter not really going to be able to replicate that super easily. But still, Vengeful Spirit Tidehunter, you get some minus armor, so your physical damage from your other core heroes is going to be fine. And well, Ice are going to grab a Skywrath Mage, one of the tools to deal with that Tidehunter and that Ancient Seal.
It's definitely nice. You just have to make sure that once he's Ancient Sealed, either he's really low on health anyway already, or you just don't damage him for a small period of time. Otherwise, Kraken Shell might just purge that silence off straight out. But I mean, Skywrath Mage is always a nice hero to have, to be honest. So far Team Ice, they have 2 of the heroes that they also had in... Oh, never mind, it was Skyr of Mage for Red Viperz, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so never mind.
The Bloodstone.
So
of.
they swapped out their heroes. No, what was it?
They swapped the Tidehunter and Skywrath Mage, and Vengeful Spirit was banned 3rd, so...
But wasn't the Skyr of Mage on the tire side with that Bloodstone build?
Yeah. Wait.
So it was Team Ice after all.
Yeah, it was. Ice won game 1. That's what I meant to say in the beginning. They're gonna actually ban out the Brewmaster actually after having picked up the Skywrath Mage. I guess they're just really scared of Red Viperz doing some similar, silencer into AoE teamfight shenanigans in this game. With a Tidehunter, that is, I guess, a threat, but you already have Skywrath Mage, and you could very easily pick up a Disruptor or something like that.
Disruptor definitely a great hero to help against Tidehunter, and one of the few heroes that, at least when positioned correctly with the ultimate, will make it so that even Kraken Shell does not save the Tidehunter just because there's an area of silence under you. I guess Legion Commander is one of the heroes as well. Can duel up the Tidehunter, Doombringer. Legion Commander though hasn't been seen at all. With a Skyrift Mage being there though, also having the Battle Trance to help out globally get Legion Commander for the kills. It could quite possibly be a pick for Team Ice, but not too many teams play that hero these days.
Yeah, it just tends to be a real feast or famine type hero. Like, if you get off to a really good start, you'll just win the game, and that's great. But if you don't, then the duel is potentially more of a liability than a real tool that you could use. It's a stun for an undetermined amount of time, which is sometimes going to be nice and sometimes going to be the worst thing in the world. So I think it's that lack of consistency for the Legion Commander that's really hurting her in this game. And you could see it if Ice want to grab that hero, they're going to be going up against Anchor Smash, so winning duels is actually going to be really hard. They're also going to have to deal with the Vengeful Spirit swap and stun. So, the odds of you getting those duels convincingly on a single target 1v1 basis are very, very low. You can burst them down, but again, that's a kind of finicky combo. You could just stun and burst people down with anything else.
Whoa, Red Viperz though, going for the Shadow Shaman. Always nice to have that amount of lockdown, of course. Pushing can be helpful. It's not that long of a cooldown. I think it's 100 seconds, so somewhat lower than the Tidehunter's Ravage is. Team Ice now though, if they want to, Lion could be a pick, as picking up a Storm Spirit now. Red Viperz, they are definitely not light on lockdown. This Storm Spirit is gonna have to be so careful where he ball lightnings in, how much mana he still has left when he does so. And unless, of course, gets off to a really awesome start, might need to go for a first item BKB.
Yeah, that's never really what you want to do for the Storm Spirit, but it seems like in this game that they're preparing to put that Storm Spirit over in the safe lane. So as far as having a good start, Storm Spirit +1, maybe even +2 versus a Tidehunter, that should be a very easily one lane for Team Ice. And the Storm Spirit, it's not really going to be picked up with the intention of, okay, the enemies have no crowd control, we're going to grab someone with mobility, and then we're just going to steamroll. I think it's mostly the fact that they just want a way to get in there with initiation, because you're going up against heroes like Shadow Shaman, heroes like Tidehunter, who need to get set up, and if you jump on them before they're actually comfortable taking a fight, like, for example, Red Viperz pushing down top lane, let's say, they're looking to get in position for the Serpent Wards, you jump them beforehand, no Serpent Wards going to be dropped, and if they do drop, odds are they're not in tower range. So Ice, they're just looking for initiation heroes right now, and most of them are already banned out, like Batrider, Clockwork, and previously Axe from Red Viperz. They're taking care to protect their initiation advantage as much as they can.
As well as they should, but an anti-mage pick for Red Viperz. With the amount of stuns they already have up against Storm Spirit, Mana Break to follow that one up as well. And the thing is, you don't usually even need that much Mana Break from the anti-mage on the Storm Spirit, because Storm Spirit, he saps his own mana pool well enough. So usually he's rather low on mana as it is. Suddenly anti-mage pops in, maybe gets a huge mana void, maybe even gets the cleave of it onto some other heroes. Can definitely work out. But this anti-mage, until he gets a meta style, playing up against an Ancient Seal and the Storm Spirit jumping in with Electric Vortex, the Red Viper supports are going to have to make sure to safeguard anti-mage until that point.
Yeah, but that is fairly possible with the amount of crowd control effects they have, and if things get really bad, you pop the Ravage, and then most of the time anti-mage from there is going to survive. He has that mana void advantage versus both the Storm Spirit and the Skywrath Mage, who is usually going to burn a lot of his mana, the majority of his mana, with just a Mystic Flare. So being able to instantly respond to a Ball Lightning or a Mystic Flare with a mana void and then just instantly get a kill, and potentially a lot more damage outside of that kill, it's there's so much upside here for the Anti-Mage that I think even though Team Ice are kind of prepared with the crowd control, the Anti-Mage pick is still certainly going to be warranted because of that dream. You Ball Lightning with Storm Spirit, you're met with the Mana Void, you're dead. There's nothing else you could do.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for the Storm Spirit, to be honest, and we'll see if Team Ice will be able to pull it off. They of course have the backup of a Troll Warlord as well there to just help carry a little bit. Maybe even pick up something like a Bristleback for themselves for the offlaner. So anything that can tank up, just do a little bit of extra damage. Other than that, Clockwork already banned, as is the Batrider and the Axe, so most offlaners have been removed. Is Wind Ranger a viable option even, or what are the offlane options? I guess Broodmother might come out apart from the Tidehunter, they don't have the best ways to deal with that.
Yeah, Brood Mother is also a very like team-specific kind of hero. There are teams that will run it all the time, and then there are teams that won't touch it with a 50-foot pole. Viper is going to be the pick for Team Ice, so that's definitely not the quote-unquote off-lane hero that we were looking for, but it does open the door for offensive tri-lanes. You could maybe lead the Storm Spirit down bottom by himself or put him mid or something like that. Scarith Mage, Troll Warlord, or Scarith Mage Viper +1 support hero, that's fairly dangerous, but what Red Viperz have is just as dangerous. Like Shadow Shaman Vengeful Spirit, that's a lot of CC. It's not much of a front line, so you can kill them off very easily, but they're doing a hell of a lot of damage. So that's really the only option that Team Ice have to go for right now, and maybe going for something like a Witch Doctor would be nice here, just to have that heal.
It definitely wouldn't be too bad to have that one, possibly. I mean, what other options could they have? Ice, they kind of have to commit to an aggressive tri-lane by now, I think. Because they don't have any good heroes to send offlane, really. I guess they could try to go for like dual lanes. I thought for a second maybe try to go for like an Enigma, extra lockdown, anything like that. Or I guess you could try to pick up like a... Never mind, that wouldn't work. You can't run anybody of those heroes that they have so far as a support. I was thinking of a Puck, wouldn't be possibly too bad, but... They just don't have the room for that hero anymore. Lion also banned out. I guess Witch Doctor... That leaves Witch Doctor, maybe Ancient Apparition, although it's not like they have the necessary setup for that. They really could use some stuns, and even the Witch Doctor isn't like that reliable of his stun. Rubik, maybe? Well, Earthshaker can do.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in this type of situation, you're always like, okay, well, the top tier support heroes are involved in this game already. We could go to the middle tier, and that's where Earthshaker, Sand King, Disruptor, Rubik all come into play, and it's a fine pickup for Team Ice. Their offensive capabilities are decent enough, but I think this Earthshaker is kind of in preparation for a lane versus Shadow Shaman who is reliant on those shackles, and if you have a fissure long range, you'll be able to interrupt that most of the time. Dual lanes are possible here for Ice, but I don't see any combination of dual lane beating an Anti-Mage, Shadow Shaman, Vengeful Spirit tri-lane.
It's probably true, and that would also mean that suddenly the Tidehunter offlane for the Red Viperz is going to be up against a dual lane as well. If it's a dual lane with a Viper, I guess it doesn't matter that much, because Viper really matches up well up against the Tidehunter anyway. But if Ice are going for the aggressive try, is it once again with Papers being there? Last time around it was with the Slark. This time around Papers is the one to handle that Troll Warlord by the looks of things. So is it a Troll aggressive try or a Viper one?
Well, just looking at who's playing what, it would indicate that it's going to be the Troll. As far as which one is more powerful, I actually think they're fairly even, but outside of that tri-lane though, you know that one of those two heroes, Troll or Viper, is going to have to go up against Queen of Pain. And in that situation, you want the Viper in that lane just because he does have that corrosive skin. So yeah, I think it's smarter to send the Troll into that tri-lane just because the Viper has a much better matchup in the lane that's going to be 1v1.
It's probably the best just way to go about things as well. But to introduce the lineups again, Closer will be playing the Anti-Mage, leaving Godlike Sexy on the Vengeful Spirit 7 to play the Shadow Shaman Hulk on the Tide, leaving Danger Alert to be the last one on the Queen of Pain.
And for Ice, right now, the Viper is posted up. JJT is on that hero. Got Justin playing the supposedly mid lane Storm Spirit with Papers on the Troll, B-Boy on the Shaker, and Claymont, I think he said, on the Skywrath Mage. I like calling him Icicle though. I think that's pretty smooth, but
yeah,
apparently that's
it really is smooth. But I think it was Clement, although
yeah, something like that.
It's the real name of Puppy.
He's a fake.
He's a fake.
Or it's actually Puppy.
That's
Maybe
some
not.
next level strats. Just yeah, Puppy is totally in his free time. He's playing for Division 2 Southeast Asian teams.
The fix is in. And hey, I mean, they're doing really well, so
We just totally Sherlock Holmes this.
dude, this is actually Team Secret in disguise.
Skill-wise, just about the same.
Yeah, they're exactly the same skill as Team Secret. We've been around conspiracy guys. They thought they could hide
they
from
have
us,
to play
but
from
can't.
Europe into Southeast Asia. The ping is bad, and that's the difference. Otherwise, same players.
Yep, we discovered it. The mysteries are revealed. But it looks like, well, looking at the lanes right now, Tidehunter, I don't know why he was so far down on the map. He will be a little bit late to the initial clash up towards top lane, but he is going to be going 1 versus 3. And that is going to be replicated by the bottom lane 1 versus 3. As far as who this is going to go worse for, I think the Tidehunter should have a slightly better time, especially since JJT is already in a hell of a lot of trouble. Blink forward, level 1 from Anti-Mage. They're holding onto their CC for now. Magic Missile is there, Shackle's there as well, and they will use that, waiting for Closer to get the last hit, and he does. That's first blood drawn by Red Viperz.
That was too easy. That was really too easy. I mean, Viper, usually you stay a little bit farther back, and I think Radiant aggressive tri-lane is a little bit easier to just catch the enemy off guard with just 2 ways to come in like this, possibly. So Viper, just unfortunate to say the least. B-Boy has made his way to the bottom lane on the Earthshaker now, so next time around, either it's not gonna happen or it's not gonna happen as easy, but even then the damage has been done. I mean, Anti-Mage getting the first blood, already has boots as well, has the Quelling Blade, and oh, they get the jump, they block the path for a second of the Earthshaker, but it's not gonna be long enough for Godlike Sexy to get the Magic Missile to follow. But this mostly leaves Viperz now solo up against the Tidehunter, and the whole idea to send Viper safe lane was that he would be able to have that matchup up against the Tidehunter. Is the Troll still good enough in that matchup? So far, sure, looks like it, but do they have Troll Warlord rotate to the bottom and have a safe lane tri-lane themselves and send Viper top, or are they gonna leave it as it is?
No, I think he's good enough. He's not as good as the Viper, but he can always go into his range form, and he's fine in that, in trading hits at that point. So it's not the strongest lane in the world, but it's serviceable. Godlike Sexy down towards bottom lane though is going to get cornered with a fissure. However, it's going to be B-Boy to start getting his mana burn. 7 is down the low ground, offering a shock, but not much else. That's going to be Death of the Vengeful Spirit. Closer looking for 1 more hit into B-Boy. That actually won't be a kill. He needs 2. Now Closer needs a blink out. Looks like he will get out of there. This bolt will not be lethal either. So yeah, it is just going to be a fissure to isolate that Vengeful Spirit, and this bottom lane for Ice is going to recover somewhat off of that kill. So clearly this tri-lane for Ice is very capable. Wherever their supports go, honestly, they could have made a decent tri-lane.
Yeah, it's looking pretty decent at the moment. So both sides have gotten 1 kill each. Comparing the mid laners to Queen of Pain having a pretty decent last hit advantage for the time being. 15 and 6 compared to a 10 and 1 Storm Spirit. But Storm Spirit having a bottle coming out now, things are going to get a little bit easier. Danger Alert already had the bottle earlier. So Boots will be next, maybe even finish up a Magic Wand. Both could go for an early Magic Wand, to be honest. Queen of Pain spamming out the Shadow Strike as well as Scream of Pain rather often. Storm Spirit leaving those static remnants behind all the time. Another Shadow Strike comes out, so we might see pretty similar item builds from both for the first like 15 minutes. Oh, blink forward, Danger Alert gets the kill. Tower does bring him pretty low, and I think it's gonna go down, yes. But he does get the XP for it. He's gonna be dead a little while longer, but Shadow Shaman is close by to soak up the XP from the mid lane at the same time, so it's still a worthy kill.
Yeah, that worked out really well for Red Viperz. The Storm Spirit was hitting creeps and trying to get into a man fight with the Queen of Pain while he had less HP. So I don't really know what the plan was there. He does have, I guess, more armor than the Queen of Pain, so man fights in its entirety is not the worst. But up towards top lane, Viperz is going to get a solo kill on the Tidehunter. What? Well, Anchor Smash usually should stop that, but Phase Boots on Troll Warlord is really, really powerful, and now it looks like it's going to be RV to switch up their lanes. This is actually working out very well for Ice, like, even though they lose a bad trade in the mid lane, Storm Spirit for Queen of Pain there, but they're forcing RV to shape up their lanes, and these lanes aren't even going to be substantially better. If they send the Tidehunter down towards bottom, all of a sudden he's up against Viper, and that's a lot worse than up against Troll.
It's, to be honest, how this Troll has been playing, I'm not entirely sure if it's gonna be a lot worse, but this Tidehunter was like, I have TPs coming in, I'm gonna go try to do something to Troll, but Troll with the Phase Boot backs off a little bit, uses the ranged Whirling Axis to slow him down, then goes in with the melee Whirling Axis, 1 more punch and easy kills. Viperz though has to be a little bit careful. Godlike Sexy will come in from the side, but then again, B-Boy is there as well. If he gets the Fissure, if he gets the block off, he's waiting for the Fissure, nicely done, but gonna block in Viperz. Almost got the kill on Closers, they get the kill on Shadow Shaman. Godlike Sexy will be the next to fall. Earthshaker, I have to say, B-Boy, really nice patience, just running towards the right position, waiting for the shackles to come out before the Fissure. And easy turnaround for 2 kills, even almost bringing down the Anti-Mage.
Yeah, the Shaker was perfectly out of sight there, just hiding in the corner. He knew that the RV side wants to make a play on Troll Warlord. They saw the 2 heroes up there, so when you see only one, you could probably expect what's going to happen next. So Shaker not only like remains hidden all that time, but also takes the time to reposition himself to actually get a really good fissure. Like, it blocked 1, and it also stunned out the shackle. and that's pretty much all the value you could expect from your Shaker. So B-Boy playing that role a little bit more patiently. They don't quite kill off closer, but they get a couple of kills regardless. Anti-Mage kill would have been fantastic for them, but now rotating their support heroes up to the top lane, as I said before, wherever their supports go, it's going to form a decent tri-lane. And these supports are going to be pretty influential in this game. Now smoked up, they have their eyes set on one of the more difficult targets in the Queen of Pain. Fortunately for them, Storm Spirit has level 6. Unfortunately for them, he does not have any Electric Vortex.
It's just the popular build. Sumail built it just like that as well, right? So Electric Vortex, you get it like level 8
That
or
happened
9.
too late for me to watch it. And people said the game sucked, so I didn't end up watching Storm Spirit games.
I think I saw like a couple. It might not have been Sumail himself, but I know the commentators were just on about it. Like no Electric Vortex. I still think 1 point, I mean, it should be there. It's just that much easier to set up kills.
Well, up against a Queen of Pain, or a Blinker, like Queen of Pain plus Anti-Mage, you kind of do need that. If it's like an Invoker on the other end, you're fine without it. But
Plus,
you need the stuns for Queen of Pain.
like the second point in Static Remnant isn't gonna do that much to you either, because Queen of Pain is ranged after all. You're not gonna get that much value out of it, but sometimes people are like, okay, it's popular, we're gonna go for the exact same build. So far though, lasted wise, Queen of Pain, mid lane, 10 lasted ahead of the Storm Spirit, so doing extremely well. Other lanes though, kind of dominated by Ice.
Yeah, Viper's having a super easy time up against this Tide. Now that Viper Strike is online, Hulk really can't afford to get close. He's level 6 himself, so he's like not doing terribly. But Viper can kill the Tide Hunter, whereas Tide will struggle to kill off the Viper, as long as the Viper keeps his distance and make sure that the Tide Hunter doesn't get too close. And up towards top lane, Papers is just having a free roll there, so this is looking pretty bad for RV. Their Anti-Mage is not really getting that much farm, and he might be in even more trouble. Fortunately for the Anti-Mage, actually, there's no Ancient Seal, so killing off the AM is pretty difficult.
That's also a weird choice, kind of. I mean, Arcane Bolt level 2, all fine and well, but just 1 and 1, just 1 point into Ancient Seal might be an easy kill, and whoa!
Well, I guess Ice confirmed not Team Secret.
What just happened? 8 players, 4 players from each team just got disconnected. Was it the server kicking them out or something?
It must have been. That's why we're still here. You're still in the game?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, the Queen of Pain and Shaker, I guess. Yeah, I don't know why. Valve decided to cull the fields of players. Too many players, shut them down.
It's that. I think that's like the first time I've seen it. Usually you say, okay, when it's a LAN, it can happen. It makes sense that way. If it's one team, yes, they're there in a LAN cafe, whatever, gaming house, whatnot. But both teams and just 4 teams or 4 players each team, it's like, what the hell just happened? Let the conspiracy theories begin.
The fact that it's just 4 players from either side makes it really weird. Because, like, what do the one players who didn't get kicked, what's special about them?
Where did the drafters? I'm gonna check. Oh, I can't check yet because...
Does it actually give priority to that? It was Queen of Pain and Shaker.
Shaker, yeah. I'm not too sure who drafted though. I can find out after this game, but... Can't watch the vote mid-game. Oh, stun up onto Godlike Sexy. They need Whirling Axes, they're gonna get them as well. They need a few more attacks, and well, Papers does get the last one. Has the Helm of the Dominator already, has even dominated a creep here. Has the Helber Smasher, nobody's using it, but... Man, this start for the troll is absolutely ridiculous. Anti-Mage, he's not getting completely shut down, but if it continues like this, he's not gonna have a 15-minute threat Battle Fury.
Yeah, and at this point, if you're Papers, you pop your phase boots and you run at closer, that forces out a blink, or you put out a lot of damage into the Anti-Mage, which is a win-win scenario for this Troll Warlord. Anti-Mage can't afford to man-fight the Troll, not by a long shot. Now they're actually going to circle around with a clap from a stolen Hellbear. They're going to slow down too. Here comes Justin, but he has no Vortex. That's why you need it, guys, so you kill off an Anti-Mage. They'll kill off one very easily, though. Hulk is here with a Ravage, but Ice, they're teleporting their 5th in. Viper is going to arrive. He just has his base skills, though. No real items in advantage there, no mech or anything like that, but they're going to think about diving Hulk. Poking at him for now, waiting for a fissure, but he still doesn't have that much mana. Ravage is going to connect onto 3 as TPs come in. Closer doesn't have the mana void. Papers going to turn around with that ultimate and just start man-fighting it. Here comes the Queen of Pain, though. Shackle onto Papers as well. Sonic Wave will get the kill onto the Troll Warlord, but in the meantime, it's Justin to clean up from the back end. Already took out the Vengeful Spirit, now going to kill off the Shadow Shaman Hulk, and Danger will kill off 2, but they will also die. Justin still has mana. I can't believe he still has mana. He's going to claim a double kill. Everyone minus the Queen of Pain. are going to get killed off, and Shaker, Storm Spirit, and Scarlet Mage are going to get some huge benefits off of surviving that fight.
That dive, to be honest, was a little bit weird. It's not like they completely dove that Tidehunter, but they were close enough for the Ravage anyway. 3 heroes got hit, and considering that that was the way the fight started, I think the Troll Warlord as well as the Earthshaker got hit by the Sonic Wave. Queen of Pain, is he gonna get the kill with the Shadow Strike? Yes, he is, unless there's some heals. Paper's just gonna deny the Skyriff Mage. But I think the Storm Spirit, he had a regen room bottled up and he got a lot of value. Was just jumping around, nobody damaged him at the time, everybody was focusing somebody else, and that is why he had that much mana to just work around with. And man, looking at the net worths, Queen of Pain is up there, but Anti-Mage, not completely shut down like I said earlier, but it's just not his game thus far.
And you don't really want to have an Anti-Mage that's not on his game. It's not as bad as having like a Spectre who just can't do anything. Like Anti-Mage will still have that pretty much one-hit kill response to the Scarlet Mage ultimate and to that Ball Lightning from the Storm Spirit with that Mana Void. So Closer will be able to snag some kills here and there, but his Battle Fury is going to be extremely delayed. He's even going to slow down even more for those power treads, which is fine considering how this game is going, but compare the Anti-Mage's farm to what the Troll Warlord has. He has almost a Yasha completed, plus he has a Helm of the Dominator, and he already got value out of the Helm of the Dominator as well by stealing a Hellbear, which you very rarely see. So the Troll Warlord is having a free roll up on top lane, and no one really wants to go up and try to stop him because there is still a tier 1 tower here for Ice. They can reinforce this Troll very quickly.
And this Troll is just so scary by himself already. Mid lane though, Justin has himself a haste rune. Thought about Ball Lightning there, but I think he needed +1 hero there. If he had the Skyriff Mage close by with his Mystic Flare and the Silence, easy kills, but they're farming up Ancients, RV that is. Hulk dropping pretty low to them. Thank God that Ice do not know that he's farming that at the moment. But mid lane now, they might still go for a jump on Danger Alert. Danger Alert himself does some damage to Jason, but Electric Vortex if it comes out, with the Fissure to follow, Mystic Flare as well, but the Mana Void, that's what we were talking about. And suddenly Hex up onto Clement as well. Ravage will catch 2 of them, and that's gonna be a 3-for-1 trade, I think. Blink forward from Closer, some body blocking coming out, minus armors there as well, and the other shock, +1 right click from Anti-Mage does get the kill. So really great trade for them. Just, man, Mana Void against Storm Spirit. Got to ban out the Anti-Mage.
Yeah, it's pretty much as best as it can get as far as counters are concerned. That and having a lot of disables, so Storm Spirit is going to have a tough time in this game. He's had a really easy time up till now, so I guess it's kind of karma that he runs into a roadblock. But it's also really fortunate that RV were killing off the Ancients at the same time that Ice decided to make that dive. Like, they were able to reinforce 3 heroes without having to really TP any of them. So it's just having a whole lot of heroes nearby at the right time, and I guess at the wrong time for Ice. So it's going to be them taking a pretty severe loss over in the mid lane, but still looking at the net worth, it hasn't really impacted that, as the Troll Warlord was not a part of it. He was pushing up the top lane the entire time. The tier 2, just by himself, is already down to half HP.
That is just the power of the Troll Warlord. Even has 2 points into Fervor and 3 into Berserker's Rage. Usually it's like Fervor leaving it at 1, maxing out the other spells before that. But this Troll definitely stronger. Mid lane, there's the Fissure, Mystic Flare, Electric Vortex, Ancient Seal as well. Queen of Pain this time around, didn't have the backup. Papers, not even gonna be in trouble either. Closer though, has the Ring of Health as well as the Claymore ready. So it needs a Broadsword as well as the Void Stone. He's at least I think gonna get it like 18 minutes in, maybe a little bit earlier. Depending on how many towers they manage to get down within that period as well.
And also depending on how like aggressive Justin feels like playing and how aggressive play feels like playing. Like if these 2 jumpers, the Storm Spirit with the Scarlet Mage, decide to go for the Anti-Mage, then it's all over for him. The 18-minute Battle Fury is going to turn into 20, then 25, and then, well, at a certain point, do you even go for it? I think you probably do, but it's just going to be too late to get value. They're going to take down both the mid lane and bot lane in the meantime. Wherever Papers goes, RV have to be so careful. This Troll Warlord, like, is still... It's still possible to deal with him because he doesn't have a BKB, but, man, is he doing a lot of damage, and that damage is being funneled into all the structures. Actually, bottom lane tower is surviving with 1 HP off of deny range, so I don't know how they calculated that, but it's going to work out. They're pretty much guaranteed that tower now that Papers is joining that push.
Yeah, and that's going to be the last tier 1 tower as well to fall for RV. That's lots of gold. Viper does have the mech finished, but being up against an Anti-Mage, how many times do you think we're going to see Viper just unable to use the mech because of the lack of mana?
Probably not that much. Anti-Mage probably has better things to focus on. Like, It's possible that he'll burn out Viper a couple of times, but as Anti-Mage, you have your sights set on like the Skywrath Mage as your first target, and Viper is probably like your last target. So I think the mech should come out most of the time, unless he gets stun locked, which is possible with Ravage, Magic Missile, and to swap into a Magic Missile and Hex being overlaid a little bit. JGT does have the mech here, but he's going to get walled in by the wards. Needs to dig himself out. He's not focusing correctly though. He will break out, but it's too late. He's already dead. That's a lot of spells committed just for a Viper, but hey, at this point, a kill's a kill, and you're gonna take what you can get. The problem is right now is that Ice can still fight if they really want to defend their tier 1.
Doesn't look like they want to though. I guess they could, but Storm Spirit, for example, he's getting somewhat close to the Orchid. Does have enough gold for the second W and stuff to be finished for the quarter stuff part of it. Then needs another 400 gold. Oh, there's the Echo Slam closer, drops low, but with the Sonic Wave, Ravage completely whiffs though. Still, they get the 1 kill. Viperz still alive. Viperz really wants to go for it. Maybe a mistake there. And probably is indeed. Hexed up, shackled as well. They clean up everybody who was on the bottom lane. This troll, I have no idea what he was thinking. No, I don't know, man. That's just
I don't know either. Like
suicidal thoughts.
Like when I said they could defend if they really wanted to, I meant defend at their tier 1 with all of their heroes, not lose some heroes and then reinitiate with a 2v4 and then get cleaned up. That's not what I meant. I guess Justin is going to be fine because he's up towards top lane, farming, finishing up his Orchid while all that is happening, but that fight should not have happened for Ice. They catch the Tidehunter after he blinks in. He blinks into a fissure, so that works out pretty well for them, but after that, you don't have your Viper, so there's no mech. Your Troll Warlord is just going to get disabled, so that was just a really, really bad move from Ice. They kind of take a half measure, and when you're dealing with this much combo potential, this much crowd control potential from RV, a half measure just isn't going to cut it. You either have to back off and accept your losses, or just bring in the Storm Spirit and then just man fight it out, but doing neither is going to be really bad. They're going to take a tower though, because it's pretty much already dead, and RV haven't taken a tower on the bottom lane themselves just because they didn't have the right heroes in the right place. So as far as the structures go, it's still going to benefit Ice, but are they actually going to keep going again without their Storm Spirit? I don't know if that's the right decision.
Yeah, this Storm Spirit, I mean, he has the Orchid, so maybe he's looking for solo pickoffs. This time around, at least RV isn't present, plus they know Ravage is on cooldown already because it was kind of wasted last time around. So they do quite a bit of damage here. Ancients being farmed up by Hulk in the meantime. Does have a haste rune. Might be somewhat scary, but this tier 2, it's just gonna fall. Nothing to be done about it. So Ice in the end making the correct decision here. But it's just weird that the Storm Spirit having the Orchid isn't joining the fight. It just makes it that much easier. Just jump in. If you silence up that Shadow Shaman, maybe a Queen of Pain, either one. But Shadow Shaman might be the easier target because nobody's suddenly there to lock you down anymore. Magic Missile, not that hard to dodge when you have the ball lightning, to be honest, so it's weird that the Storm Spirit is just completely on a solo mission at the moment.
Yeah, he still has a lot of kill potential right now. He actually does see some targets up on top, and he's going to ball lightning in. He wants to go for someone, but he can't because he's going to get X. Still has more mana, but he's going to run dry now. He's going to try to go for the Shadow Shaman. Fissure is there to wall him off. That will be 1 kill for the Storm. He's completely out of mana, but I think that's good enough. I mean, they still have a Ravage to worry about right now, but they have a mech on the Viper. They have a couple of Arc Boots, so Storm Spirit's at decent amount of mana regen. They're going to take a tower and probably slap towards top lane and take the last one. That was not exactly according to plan, but it was good enough by the end of it.
Yeah, the end result definitely good enough. Skywrath Mage now on the bottom side. We will stop the pushing for a little while. Maybe if one extra hero TP is in, they might even get the kill on Anti-Mage with an Ancient Seal being maxed out now, 6-second duration. There is the Earthshaker coming. I guess if he gets an Echo Slam, but can he really run in like that, Anti-Mage? Definitely faster on his feet. Or should be. Now tower will go down. Silence is there. Can he get the tower lasted at least? B-Boy coming in. Storm Spirit as well. Should be an easy kill with that Mystic Flare Echo Slam used. Justin did use pretty much all of his mana again just to jump there, but they also get the deny on the tower. Top lane, danger alert. Jumped on, I think it was the Viper, but Viper just TP'd out. So another great exchange for them, and killing off the Anti-Mage, also denying the tower. He does still get his Battle Fury though, so was about 18 minutes in. Power threats not completely finished, and he is still not safe to farm on the map.
Yeah, especially since Storm Spirit is so big. Once Anti-Mage grabs his Manta style, then he's going to be almost completely safe in this game. But until that happens, he is just going to be farming very, very cautiously. He'll be able to do it very quickly with the Battle Fury, but if the Storm Spirit sees them and if the Shadow Shaman isn't there to protect the Anti-Mage, it's just going to be a free kill with that Orchid Silence. So Anti-Mage has stage 1 of his plan completed. Get the Battle Fury, but it's a little bit late as Ice, they're already vastly far ahead with other heroes at the moment, and most of the tier 2 towers from RV are already down. The Roshan is a possibility for Ice, however, their Rosh killing lineup is fairly poor. They have the map presence to do it, but they don't really have the damage.
Yeah, it's... I guess the troll could take it solo as well, if given enough time, but... At the moment, they are going into it anyway. They have the vision for it. So like I said, they have the map control, but they're up against the Blink Ravage and also Mass Serpent Wards in such an area. They might just completely get wrecked. Skyriff Mage, he's in the mid lane as well. Is the Skyriff Mage in the mid lane to make it a little bit less obvious? Or never mind, Tidehunter. He's going to get damaged before he can do anything at all. The Satyr just keeps on chasing him, and Troll does clean up the Roshan with the help of JT. Justin picks up the Aegis, and well, I think it can't even be argued. Storm Spirit must be the best Aegis carrier here, right?
Yeah, it's almost guaranteed, especially since Troll Warlord and Viper have both gone for such tanky builds. The Storm Spirit, who's gone for, you know, very glass cannon standard Storm Spirit build, has got to grab that item. And I'd also just like to note how insane this Helm of the Dominator has been for the Troll Warlord. Not just for lifesteal and farming purposes, but this is the third time that the creep has actually been relevant. The first time we saw was the Hellbear up towards the top lane very early on. The second time was when they were pushing down the bottom lane tier 2. He dominated a random dire range creep, and he was just zoning everyone out, spotting them out with that creep as well. And now the cancellation of the blink and really just denying RV the ability to fight with this Satyr. This Helm of Dominator is getting so much more value than we ordinarily see. Usually it's just an item for lifesteal, and you know, you grab an Alpha Wolf when you can find one, but this game, these creeps have been just doing work for Ice.
Yeah, and well, he did find himself an Alpha Wolf just as they were going to push the last outer tower down as well. So, man, this Troll Warlord, he is being absolutely massive at the moment. Does have his BKB finished as well now, I think? Yes, he does. I mean, Queen of Pain also did go for a BKB first item. Has another Ogre Club, so I guess it's Aghanim at the time. They might get the jump now, though. Oh, God. 7. If only he had a Blink Dagger.
Ravage getting back onto everyone. B-Boy's gonna get trapped in those cogs. They want to take this Fisher off the equation, and they will. But they have to deal with Papers and Justin now driving forward. They'll take out 2 immediately. Now going for the Hulk, who will go down. Sonic Wave through 2. Going to be pretty nice, but won't be enough because the Viper is so tanky with maxed out Corrosive. They'll kill off the Queen of Pain. Now the Anti-Mage is gonna blink out. Aegis is popped by Justin. Is going to decide to just leave it as it is. But killing off the Shaker, as nice as it is, isn't really good enough because they focus so many skills into him.
That's just... Everybody or the core heroes that you need to kill, they were somewhat spread out, so RV, they just couldn't get close enough. And Shadow Shaman lacking the Blink Dagger as well, having to run all the way in like that. It just takes a little bit too long of a time. I mean, Ravage was pretty nice, but the follow-up just wasn't there. They had to use the Mana Void, of course, on the Storm Spirit as you would want to use it. But him having the Aegis made it just that much easier for Ice to fight. And suddenly, Rax down, 22 minutes in. At least they have an Anti-Mage who is pretty adept at killing off Mega Creeps or Super Creeps. Closer, Echo Slam was used, didn't get the proper Aftershock on it though. So Closer just blinks out.
They're going to continue the fight. Hulk is going to wander a little bit too close. Going to get the Anchor Smash out, maybe. He will by the time he's dead, but he's already dead. Danger Alert going to snipe the Storm Spirit on the retreat, ran out of mana. And now the bashing is threatening. He will get bashed and fissured and killed off. All of a sudden, 7 and Closer are the only ones left, and they're going to take some poison hits. That's going to kill them off as well.
Queen of Pain even activated the BKB just before the death.
Oh man, that's just insult to injury right there. Like, I don't really know if it's going to matter because this game is looking like it might close out soon. But still, man, like, BKB is pretty important. You can't afford to waste it ever.
Yeah, it's just not going their way. I mean, in general, Queen of Pain having to go for a BKB first item is never a favorable position. And Storm Spirit not having to go for one, although on paper he's up against a more threatening lineup, to be honest. And GG is called. We had a pretty long game number 1, but game number 2, it's gonna make more than up for it, I guess, with the shortness of it. 23 minutes in. This was the kind of performance I was kind of expecting from Ice in game number 1 from past performances, but they delivered in game 2.
Yeah, man, this game was fairly devastating. The Troll Warlord getting off to an amazing start is going to set the tone for the rest of the game, and it pretty much did. 6-2-11. Can't really ask for too much more from him. And Storm Spirit also went off, and RV, I think they were kind of indecisive with their lanes, and I don't want to say that's the only thing that made them lose this game, but it definitely was a large contributing factor.
Certainly so, but guys, this will conclude it for the day for us. So thank you so much for tuning in, watching some Southeast Asian Dota, some entertaining Southeast Asian Dota added with us. And if you enjoyed it, be sure to follow HeflaTV for more content on Facebook and Twitter, HeflaTV for both. If you like the casters, it's @Coucher for me, @Mike Loris for my co-caster, and just see you another time, guys.